I need to give you guys kind of a channel update on what's going on with my channel, streams, things like that. I'm going to be streaming my ass off going forward because I need to get back to streaming. I've kind of been doing a lot of uploading, and my live streaming has kind of been declining game stuff. I got to get back to Twitch streaming. I need to get back to doing the things. So this weekend's reviews and news stories are going to be a little weird in how uploads are made, okay? So bear with me. Things are going to be late. I know there was an MLW thing that I watched. It was free on YouTube with Eric Bischoff. I think it was like Eric Bischoff's one shot, and then it was Eric Bischoff maybe sticking around for future episodes of MLW. He got a contract at the end. So there's a lot of stuff I need to talk about. There's TNA that I did watch, and there's so much stuff. You're here for the SmackDown stuff. I know. I also watched Rampage. That also is going to be late. All the stuff that I'm doing, Ring of Honor, everything. It's just been a crazy week. I'm trying to catch up on everything, and there's so much news happening. I apologize that I have not been live either, but we're going to get back into it starting tonight. And if I have to, I'll just talk about it as one big live stream if I need to about all the wrestling events and what I thought about each and every one of them. So, guys, here for SmackDown. Again, we talked about Penta. We've talked about the stuff with Ryan Nemeth. We talked about the state of AEW, in my opinion, what I think AEW needs to do to change and be better in the next coming year or in future years. And we talked about streaming and stuff like that. So down below, there's tons of stuff. NZXT, we talked about that whole fiasco. There's another video that came out by Gamers Next. So much content to do, so little time. So let's get into talking about SmackDown tonight. Look, I am not the biggest fan of Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, but Cody Rhodes is becoming like John Cena. I cringe. And with WWE saying they're going to still do family-friendly content, they're just pushing Cody Rhodes out there, and it just seems to me like it's dog water. His actual stuff, when he comes out and he talks, when he did this whole thing about KO tonight, it was dog water. It was glorified garbage. And I just feel like I'm getting my intelligence insulted for who I am. The things that were great, the women's American Championship U.S. title, great shit. That's how you do it. I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany Stratton cashed in on the next U.S. women's champion or the inaugural. I wouldn't be surprised and she becomes inaugural. Wouldn't be surprised because that's WWE right now. They don't have any faith in Tiffany Stratton. I'm telling you, they just don't. They made Tiffany Stratton look really good with that Lakers stuff, man. Purple and gold, man, she looked like $1 million, but wrong title they're doing it for. The wrong tournament to do it for. They are butching her. They're botching her. It's terrible. It's just absurd to me. Again, I think it's going to be Michin, and I really do believe it's going to be Chelsea Green. And I think it's going to be Chelsea Green going over. I do believe this. I think Chelsea Green will win that. You could have Dakota Kai win the Intercontinental belt if you like. I wouldn't mind on the other side, on the Raw side. You could have Kairi Sane. You could have a bunch of other people win it. I mean, to be honest with you. But again, I just feel like Tiffany Stratton, why are we putting her in the mid-card scene and having her not go after a main card title? 3 times she should have cashed in and has failed or not even remotely gotten close to cashing in. She should be your undisputed women's champion at this point. I don't feel WWE has faith in her. Kevin Owens. Love the car interview with Michael Cole. I thought it was perfect. They are setting up Kevin Owens very well. But did Kevin Owens, there's supposed to be a handshake deal that he's re-signing. But here's the thing. Is he really re-signing? Are they really going to push him? I'm afraid of it. Because honestly, are they going to give him the title for how long if they decide to give it to him? Are they going to have the balls to take it off of Cody? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cody walks in on Saturday night's main event and wins. And I just don't see Kevin Owens winning. I really want Kevin Owens to win because right now, Cody Rhodes, that whole shiny thing, storyline, I think it's dead and done. I honestly do. I think it's dead and done. And I'm with the consensus out there. I think Cody Rhodes, it's time for him to drop the belt. It's not been good. finish the story, and now we the children, Cody. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I love Cody being a brand ambassador for WWE. I have enjoyed him having the belt for 3 to 4 months, but it's time for him to lose. It just is. It's John Cena-esque run now at this point. And I know he's not going to lose it. I know he's going to hold it until somewhat WrestleMania. And I know he's probably going to go against Punk and probably lose because Punk's going to pull that favor. And it's kind of predictable at this point. And I believe Gunther will probably face, most likely, Damian Priest or Randy Orton. Or they have Randy Orton face Cody, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. The Bloodline tonight. I got to say, Bloodline 2.0, kicking ass, chewing bubblegum. They kind of looking at that they're copying the Death Riders in a way, where the Death Riders just come in, they beat the shit out of somebody, walk in, walk out, that's it. Samoan spikes all around. It's perfect. I like it. Give me more. This is how you book Solo Sikoa. Less mic time, more beaten. Less mic time, more beating people up. That's how you do it. LA Knight, perfect. Shinsuke backed off. That's how we do it. Andrade gets a Samoan spike. They're building up to Andrade, but I think Andrade is becoming a jobber more than anything. Again, we had a video recap of what happened at Survivor Series with Bronson Reed suffering a broken foot at Survivor Series. And other injury news, Tonga Loa suffered a torn bicep, and Jimmy Uso came out of War Games with a broken toe. So they talked about all the carnage. The Cody Rhodes segment was just awful. Personally, awful in Minnesota. Chad Gable said Cody isn't who he thought he was. Gable called Cody superficial because of all Cody cares is what everybody thinks about Cody. Okay. The segment with Chad Gable honestly was weak. Chad Gable's glorified a jobber at this point. I don't care whoever tells me different, but Chad Gable is a glorified jobber. He's just there to put over people. Supposedly, all the dirt sheets are wrong because they all said, oh, Chad Gable's going to get this amazing push. Amazing push. He ain't getting an amazing push. I guess they're at trade deadlines. I guess now SmackDown could trade for certain people. I think Chad Gable's now moving over to SmackDown, part of the stuff. And then there was Shorty G comments. It's just all over the place. This is where I say, and I said this in my State of AEW stuff, why is it not okay when AEW does hokey pokey shit, but when WWE does hokey pokey shit, people blow it off like it's okay? It's not okay Cody Rhodes is coming out and looking weak. It's not good that you have Chad Gable coming out that you just signed and you're not putting anything on this man. You're not pushing him as you said to the dirt sheets you were going to do. And it doesn't help when you go and have these press conferences with the chief operating officer of Netflix and say, we're going to stay family friendly. We're not going to take it up a notch like our competition. We're going to stay family friendly, which they are conceding to their sponsors, which I don't understand. WWE does need to do better in that aspect. I'm sorry, kids don't want their intelligence insulted. I think, I talk to a lot of, family friends that have kids, and they all say the same thing about WWE. They just getting tired of the regurgitation shit. They said, why can't they go and curse a little bit? Why can't they do a little bit more? Maybe show a little bit more blood. When I talk about WWE from when I was a kid, I show them the quality difference. Kids' eyes bright up. I show them things that were cool about the women's division. I show them what was cool about cage matches back in the day and what made a feud. And you go and you look at what's going on right now, it's not the same WWE as it once was. Cody Rhodes is so terrible right now. They need to take it's a crime to me. It's criminal. They put him out there just to whatever. It's just Bianca Belair, Naomi backstage. We're talking about Belair wishing Naomi good luck before their triple threat match with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven walked into the frame. And it's like these storylines, they could do better. Tiffany Stratton, why do you have her in a mid-card tournament? She shouldn't even be there. She should be fighting for the bigger title, the big fish. Like, she has pretty much feast or fire, call your own shot briefcase, which is in TNA, or the cup that like Frankie Kazarian, or the Dynamite ring. Why are we not making this important? You have made the Money in the Bank look like a jobber thing. It's mid at best, mid. It's terrible. Tiffany Stratton wins. Great. How's it gonna go forward? You know what I mean? Again, when you add Elektra Lopez to the damn thing, you know who's winning out of it. Bianca Belair defeats Piper Niven in 12 minutes and 17 seconds. Again, I could care less. Piper Niven is not the chosen one out of the group between her and Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, I believe, will be your next United States champion. And I know some of you in my community don't care about mid-card titles. I do, because it pushes characters that really weren't going to be looked at to begin with for main card titles, like a Michin, like a Chelsea Green, like an Elektra Lopez. And if you wanted to bring up somebody just to have them kind of like Braun Breaker, kind of see if it's worth it, you could bring in a Roxanne Perez. You could bring in a Tatum Paxley, which Tatum Paxley's been on Main Event recently. So are they bringing her up with these trades at the trade deadline? Are they going to do a bait and switch at this point? Going into Raw next year, are they bringing her up? You know, who knows what they're going to do? You know what I mean when it comes to this stuff. Nevin still controlled, okay, pretty much in my notes here. U.S. title and the Bloodline segment was okay. The Bloodline has lost some members because of injuries, and so did the OGs. So we'll see how that goes. LA Knight got beat up with Andrade. Shinsuke wanted nothing of it. Shinsuke backed out. Ciampa and Gargano won the tag team belts. Good job, WWE. I give you a golf clap. Golf claps all around. And the reason they did this because the Motor Machine Guns have not gotten over. That's a WWE problem. You know, it's funny that a lot of you get mad at AEW for putting titles and hot potatoing titles, but just take a look at WWE. They did no build for the Motor Machine Guns at all. Just imagine if they brought the Lucha Brothers. Nobody knows who the Lucha Brothers are. Only us hardcore fans. Same with the Motor Machine Guns. Only us hardcore fans that watch the other products know. And I'm going to tell you this straight up, as I will tell anybody this. They weren't built. They had 2 matches and won the titles. It made no sense to begin with. There was no building of them. There was no storytelling outside of a few wrestlers that knew them. It made no sense putting the belt on them. You should have put it on somebody else. I get why they did it, because WWE thinks in their mind that the casuals are stupid and they'll cheer for anything. And it wasn't the case. Now with DIY winning a championship and being kind of heels, it works out. It works out. DIY defeating the Motor Machine Guns was perfect for the WWE tag team division. I think it was best for business. Nobody knew who the Motor Machine Guns are. Now you can rebuild up the Motor Machine Guns. You could tell a story now and have them win on a big pay-per-view. Or better yet, you could have them go into WrestleMania or one of them and have them win, to be honest with you. I have to stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. My throat, a little parched in this recording. I apologize. Kevin Owens and Michael Cole's interview. We talked about this earlier in this review. I'm cool with this. Michael Cole doing more serious stuff. I'm great with this. Best for business. Maybe get a little hurt out of it. I'm cool with it. Again, Kevin Owens being a badass. Kevin Owens or Randy Orton should take the belt off of Cody. Or better yet, you have Randy win the heavyweight title. And I think another title for Randy Orton's perfect. I think Randy Orton should break the record, honestly. But that's just me. Cody Rhodes defeats Chad Gable in 12 minutes. Who gives a shit? Like, Chad Gable's a glorified jobber. Yeah, did he look good? Sure. But again, I'm going to tell you this left and right. Cody Rhodes, I don't care for. He's becoming like Seth Rollins. Do we take Seth Rollins serious? Stevie Richards has been on the record on his show, the Stevie Richards show, these egg beater shots, the not believing. Like, I just feel like WWE just goes along with the motion sometimes. And here, I just felt like it was a typical Cody Rhodes match. There's nothing to sink your teeth into, and you're not feeling it from the minute go. Chad Gable's a glorified jobber, and if they're moving him over to SmackDown, they need to push him. If they're trading for him, they need to move him to SmackDown and have him have a push to something. I mean, you signed him for all this money to keep him away from AEW and other promotions, and it just looks like you're squandering him. You know, the guy's almost 40 years old, and it just seems like he's doing Shorty G all over again. And Cody Rhodes has been ice cold. We have not seen him on the product very much. Looks like he got hurt. I don't know if it was legitimate or not. Kevin Owens was kind of beating on him on it. Again, we're doing the whole brawling at each other shit. We did that with Damian Priest. Now we're doing it with Cody. I guess WWE likes their brawling around the ring shit. I mean, I wish they would do more of outside stuff and beat the shit out of each other. I guess it's only when The Rock shows up that blood happens, right? Or a belt beaten or a chair shot that's not unprotected. You know what I mean? I guess only when The Rock's around they do hardcore shit. You know what I mean? They need to get back to that personally. It's hurting the product. This family-friendly shit is coming back to eat WWE in the ass. I don't know why they have to appeal to Mattel and all these people. I get they make so much money out of it. But my God, can we get a chair shot? Can we get a brick shot? Can we get something? You know, like, do we only get it at once every 8 months? I just feel like WWE, I just feel like they're just going with the flow and insulting intelligence. I don't know. This show was decent. I'm not going to say it was a terrible show. It was not unwatchable, as some people say about AEW, but WWE, this show was watchable. It was literally a glorified, to me, a 6.0 out of 10. I would say a 2 out of 5. It wasn't bad. Or I would say 3 out of 5. It wasn't trash. It's just that there's things that they need to do. They need to get it just screams that they got to do better booking choices and book wiser. And personally, if we're holding the candle to AEW, we got to do the same thing with WWE. The two promotions right now are not doing well when it comes to booking. And I'm hoping this Saturday night's, I'm pumped for Saturday night's main event. But right now, it's not looking good. And it's becoming very, very much predictable for me. Anyway, my name is RevSauce9. I hope you enjoyed this review. I will see you guys on the next one. I'll put this up for you guys and be ready for some game streaming later. And see you guys soon. Peace.